Coming up on Look Today, big news. The Adirondack Civic Center Coalition announced today that it has purchased the Adirondack Thunder hockey team. I've got details. And we continue the discussion on the town hall meeting in Glens Falls as we talk to one of the organizers, Sarah Carpenter. More on that coming up. And the cause of a fire that damaged a DPW garage in Saratoga has not yet been determined. We got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. Well, we've got quite a program for you tonight. I sit down with Lois Celeste. She's the Executive Director of the Saratoga Senior Center, and we're joined by Ann Gallagher. She's a co-director of Rehabilitation Services for the Northeastern Association of the Blind, and they're here to talk about the importance of eye care, especially as you get older. And I sit down with Dr. Mary Nell Morgan. Now, she's a professional teacher and singer, and she's here to talk about Black History Month. What a great interview this is. Plus, we have your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, the Adirondack Civic Center Coalition announced today that it has purchased the Adirondack Thunder hockey team. Now, this deal ensures that professional hockey will stay in Glens Falls. The announcement came today at the Glens Falls Civic Center, the current home of the Adirondack Thunder. Well, the ECHL Board of Governors approved the sale this month, providing the coalition representatives with a seat on the board. Well, we spoke to the new chair of the board and also a member of the coalition, none other than Ed Moore.
Aside from that, it's the way the structure is set up for this ECHL, and it means our team will have a voice at the table.
Well, this is big news. Now, after the recent announcement that the Albany Devils will leave the Capital Region, Glens Falls is now the primary location for hockey. Now, this will be key for our local tourism. We spoke to Dan Burke. He's a president of the Adirondack Civic Center Coalition.
We were not happy for Albany. Obviously, losing that franchise meant something to a lot of people. On the other hand, the silver lining for us is that if you want to watch professional hockey, like in the old Red Wing days, you got to come to Glens Falls.
This is big news for Glens Falls. Congratulations to Dan, Ed, and everyone on the coalition. All right, in other news. Well, the cause for a fire that damaged the Department of Public Works garage in Saratoga last month has still not yet been determined. However, the site will be demolished. The garage is located on 19 Van Rensselaer Street. Now, the firewall within the garage contained the fire in one specific area. Therefore, not much damage was done, thankfully. Records from the Planning and Finance Department were kept in a vault, which remained undamaged. Now, we will have further updates on the story when we speak to the Commissioner of Public Works, Skip Scirocco, tomorrow. Switching from news to weather. Today saw another increase in temperatures, showing early signs of spring. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Well, thank you, Jesse. The more mild air will continue to try its best to pile on in, especially as another warm front sets its sight across the northeast. Now, you can see some more messy weather back out to the west, seeing some showers, some thunderstorms, even some trailing snowfall eventually across portions of the Rockies. Now, all that is expected to slide its way towards us over the next couple of days, but that south wind will be the dominant factor, especially overnight, keeping us very warm, well above normals. You can see 50s in Albany and Scranton, 40s elsewhere, a few 30s in a couple of spots, but for the most part, those will be the exception rather than the rule. Across much of the Tri-North counties and the Glens Falls area, we'll continue to watch temperatures holding in the 40s. In fact, actually warming up slowly overnight. We'll see a chance of some light rain showers, wake up to some morning fog. So that's something to keep in mind as you head out the door. Then some more steady rain will likely slip on in through Wednesday. That's as a couple cold fronts will be right on our doorstep. Highs will warm back up to 68 degrees. Still a south wind 10 to 15 miles an hour. So out the door tomorrow morning, a mild start in the 50s, quickly pushing towards the 60-degree mark. We'll see that chance of rain, some morning fog burning back off, and then eventually a cool down. Thursday's high 38 is that cold front. Both of them will push in and out. Then some very chilly conditions. We'll continue to watch temperatures pushing back down well below normals again heading into the weekend, and the chance of snowfall light but back on Sunday. Well, that's it from the Weather Center. Now let's get back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Brad. Man, this weather's crazy. All right, back to the news. We're continuing the discussion on the town hall style meeting that was held at the Crandall Public Library last week. Now, many community members are demanding that Congresswoman Elise Stefanik respond to her constituents. Now, it's important to note that Congresswoman Stefanik did not organize this meeting. Now, we had the opportunity to speak to Sarah Carpenter. She's one of the organizers about what some of these goals are.
Over time, trying to connect the community and to make us not seem like we're enemies, but to begin to do some community building, to pull people together, maybe in a future town hall where we have small groups and we spin off and we have people who have opposing views sit down across the table from each other.
Well, obviously, she's very well intentioned. Up next, I sit down with Lois Celeste. She's the executive director of the Saratoga Senior Center, and we're joined by Ann Gallagher. She's a co-director of rehabilitation services for the Northeastern Association of the Blind. And they're here to talk about the importance of eye care in the first of our series, A Look at Seniors. Plus, I also sit down with Dr. Mary Nell Morgan. Now, she's a professional teacher and singer, and she's here to talk about Black History Month in part one of our two-part interview with her. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got some lookouts. That interview I did today with Dr. Mary Nell Morgan, we broke that into two parts. And please check out part two tomorrow. It was just a wonderful, in-depth conversation that we can all learn from. Also, looking ahead, Women's History Month is March, so we'll be setting up a bunch of interviews with leading women in our community. And I also want to give you an update on our contact with Elise Stefanik's office. We spoke with them again today, and we're trying to get an interview with Congresswoman Stefanik. And I just want to, again, just touch on this town hall meeting. Trust me, I'm a student of politics, and I'm not pleased at all with what's going on in Washington. But this is a question of fairness, and we're getting a lot of response, and a lot of you are very angry. We understand why you're angry, but you know, you don't organize a meeting with a featured guest and have that person out of town. So we're just trying to get to the bottom of it, that's all. And so that it's an issue of fairness more than anything else. But I did get a kick out of that one viewer who commented that I have adoring lips. Not exactly sure what that means, but thank you for the comment. Which leads me to the last thing. Please go to Facebook. We've got a dialogue going about a number of things that we're covering here on Look Media, and we'd really like to have your input, and we'll comment on it the next day. All right, tonight on Look TV, it's a Queensbury Town Board meeting. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.